What happens when the king of custom motorcycles goes from global fame to public disgrace, and then attempts the impossible comeback? Jesse James wasn't just a mechanic. He was a cultural force, the man behind West Coast choppers, the face of Monster Garage, and the outlaw who turned wrenches into legends. But for every high, there was a brutal low: scandals, betrayals, and controversies that nearly erased his name. Today, we'll trace the full story, from his meteoric rise to the scandals that destroyed it all, and the shocking way he tried to reinvent himself when the world turned its back. In the early 1990s, Jesse James wasn't a celebrity. He was just a guy with a torch, a grinder, and an obsession with steel. Working out of his mother's garage in Long Beach, California, Jesse started small, shaping custom parts and tinkering with ideas. That garage became the birthplace of West Coast choppers, a name that would soon dominate motorcycle culture. But Jesse wasn't just building bikes, he was creating identity. His designs carried attitude: long, aggressive frames, raw welds, and hand-built precision that screamed rebellion. Stars like Shaquille O'Neal, Kid Rock, and Tyson Beckford wanted bikes with Jesse's mark, and they paid dearly for them. His Iron Cross logo didn't stay in the garage either. It spread across hats, shirts, and belt buckles until it became a global statement. For fans, rocking West Coast choppers gear wasn't about fashion. It was a declaration: I don't follow the rules. Jesse had tapped into something far bigger than motorcycles. He had captured a lifestyle. And just when it looked like he was at the top of his craft, a new opportunity arrived, one that would launch him into millions of living rooms across America. By 2002, Jesse James had gone from underground bike builder to household name. The launch of Monster Garage on Discovery Channel turned him into a cultural phenomenon. The premise was simple, but irresistible: take everyday vehicles and transform them into outrageous machines under insane time limits. Viewers watched fire trucks converted into beer brewers, school buses turned into pontoon boats, even a NASCAR car chopped into a lawnmower. But it wasn't just the wild builds that hooked audiences. It was Jesse himself. His blunt, no-nonsense style and outlaw charisma made him the perfect anti-hero for reality TV. Millions tuned in every week, making Monster Garage one of Discovery's biggest hits of the decade. The success catapulted West Coast choppers into the stratosphere. Suddenly, the Iron Cross logo wasn't just for bikers. It was in malls, clubs, and pop culture everywhere. Merch sales exploded, and Jesse branched into magazines, restaurants, and lifestyle products. He wasn't just a mechanic anymore, he was a brand. But fame is a double-edged sword. For every deal signed, Jesse's every move became public property, and the more attention he got, the more cracks began to show beneath the carefully built image of America's favorite outlaw. In 2005, Jesse James shocked the entertainment world when he married actress Sandra Bullock, one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. Their union was seen as an unlikely but charming pairing, America's sweetheart and the tattooed bad boy biker. For a while it worked. They were photographed as a power couple, balancing red carpets with motorcycle garages. But behind the scenes, storm clouds gathered. In 2010, just weeks after Sandra won an Oscar for The Blind Side, the facade collapsed. Michelle "Bombshell" McGee came forward, claiming an affair with Jesse. Within days, multiple women added their voices, painting a devastating picture of betrayal. The scandal dominated tabloids. Fans turned on Jesse instantly, while Sandra became the focus of national sympathy. By April, she filed for divorce, ending the marriage in brutal public fashion. Jesse admitted his mistakes and checked into a rehab facility, but it wasn't enough to stop the damage. Overnight, the outlaw image that once looked rebellious now screamed untrustworthy. Sponsors fled, TV partners cut ties, and West Coast choppers, once untouchable, felt the aftershocks. But Jesse's nightmare wasn't over. Just as he tried to move past the scandal, a new controversy would make headlines and further poison his reputation. For years, the Iron Cross logo of West Coast choppers symbolized freedom, rebellion, and biker pride. But in 2004, school districts in California began banning it, citing concerns over associations with extremist groups. Jesse fought back, insisting the logo was purely about motorcycle culture, not politics. Still, the damage was done. The symbol many wore proudly was now tainted. Things spiraled further in 2010. A leaked old photo surfaced showing Jesse in a Nazi-style salute while wearing a hat with an emblem tied to fascist imagery. He insisted it was a dumb joke at a private party, but the media pounced. Outlets like TMZ plastered the image everywhere, and the public outrage was swift. With the cheating scandal still fresh, fans weren't ready to forgive. Accusations of racism followed him, business partners cut ties, and West Coast choppers' once booming merchandise line dried up. What was once his proudest mark of success had become radioactive. Facing mounting backlash, Jesse shut down his Long Beach headquarters and left California for Texas. He wanted a fresh start, but rebuilding from ashes would be harder than he imagined. Because even in Austin, the shadows of scandal followed him wherever he turned. Arriving in Texas, Jesse James tried to outrun his past by immersing himself in the craft he loved. He joined Austin's Speed Shop, a respected custom garage known for precision hot rods and motorcycles. The idea was simple: prove his worth through work, but fitting in wasn't easy. Austin's community of builders valued teamwork and reputation, and Jesse arrived with baggage. Many viewed him as an outsider, bringing controversy into their tight-knit world. Inside the shop, his bold, individualistic style clashed with a more collaborative culture. Television gave him another shot with Outlaw Garage in 2012. The Discovery series followed Jesse and the Speed Shop crew as they tackled ambitious builds, from recycling old trucks into off-road beasts to creating custom hot rods. But lightning didn't strike twice. Viewers saw it as a watered-down attempt to revive the glory of Monster Garage. Ratings fell flat, and the show was canceled after just a handful of episodes. By 2013, Jesse walked away from Austin's Speed Shop entirely. The partnership had failed, his TV comeback fizzled, and the dream of redemption felt further away than ever. But Jesse wasn't done reinventing himself. He was about to pivot into a field no one expected. In 2013, Jesse James shocked fans by shifting gears entirely. Leaving the motorcycle spotlight, he launched Jesse James Firearms Unlimited in Austin, Texas. His goal: apply the same craftsmanship that built West Coast choppers to the world of high-end firearms. These weren't ordinary weapons. Jesse crafted custom 1911 pistols and AR-15 rifles, often made with exotic materials, hand-engraved details, and collector-level precision. One of the most infamous creations, the Trump 45, a gold-plated pistol engraved specifically for Donald Trump. Love it or hate it, it got people talking. At first, the firearms community doubted him, dismissing him as a reality TV personality cashing in. But slowly, Jesse's dedication won respect. He built a loyal customer base willing to pay thousands for one-of-a-kind designs. In parallel, he continued making motorcycles, but on a smaller scale, producing only a few bespoke builds each year. This new chapter wasn't about chasing fame. It was about survival and artistry. JJFU kept him relevant, but it also cemented a truth: Jesse James would never again command the cultural dominance of his West Coast choppers era. Still, he had proven one thing: his outlaw creativity could adapt to almost any medium. Today, Jesse James is no longer in the Hollywood spotlight. He's not dominating TV screens or fueling tabloid headlines. Instead, he's carving a quieter life, building bikes and firearms for collectors, experimenting with small media projects, and leaning into the outlaw image that defined him. For loyal fans, Jesse remains a symbol of grit, craftsmanship, and rebellion. His custom machines, whether motorcycles or guns, are still admired as works of art. But for critics, his scandals overshadow his talents. To some, he'll always be the man who betrayed Sandra Bullock and tarnished his own empire. And maybe that's Jesse's true legacy: contradiction. A builder with unmatched skill, a showman who defined an era of reality TV, and a flawed man whose personal decisions nearly destroyed him. He never fully escaped the scandals, but he never stopped creating either. His story proves resilience comes in many forms. Sometimes it's not about reclaiming past glory. It's about surviving, adapting, and carving out a place in the shadows of your former fame. But Jesse James leaves us with one haunting question: can anyone ever truly reinvent themselves? Or does the past always ride shotgun, no matter how far you try to run? Jesse James's journey reads like a modern outlaw ballad. From a garage in Long Beach, he built machines that symbolized freedom, rebellion, and raw American spirit. He rose to fame as the face of Monster Garage, his Iron Cross logo spreading across the world like wildfire. For a moment, he seemed untouchable, a legend in steel. Then came the scandals: a marriage to Sandra Bullock that ended in betrayal, a photo that linked his brand to controversy, and the collapse of the empire he had worked so hard to build. Overnight, the outlaw icon became a public villain. His escape to Texas offered hope, but fresh ventures like Outlaw Garage stumbled. Still, Jesse didn't disappear. He reinvented himself, moving into firearms, producing collectible guns with the same artistry that once made his bikes famous. Smaller in scale, quieter in presence, but still undeniably Jesse James. His story forces us to ask: is redemption ever truly possible? Can someone outrun their past, or will the weight of old mistakes always cast a shadow? What do you think? Drop your thoughts below, hit like if this story hooked you, and subscribe for more untold tales of rise, fall, and reinvention.